Hey everyone, welcome to episode 2 of Math 105, Final Exam Review. We're going to start off with unit conversions, do the SI system first. We're going to convert 0.0035 gigabytes into kilobytes. Now to move from gigabytes to kilobytes, that's 2 big steps, go from gigabytes to megabytes to kilobytes. So that's 6 places we need to move the decimal. We're going from a larger unit to a smaller unit, so we're going to need more of them, so we're going to make this number bigger by moving the decimal to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4 gets us to the right of 5, and then we'll add 2 more zeros and get 3500. So 3,500 kilobytes. Number 22, we're going to convert 384,000 decameters into megameters. Now in this case, we're going from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, which means this number is going to get smaller. Now from decameters, we have to go to hectometers and then kilometers. And from kilometers, we'll make a big jump up to megameters. So that is 5 places we need to move the decimal. 2 to get to kilometers, 3 more to get to megameters. So we're going to take this decimal and move it 5 to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we get 3.84 megameters. Next up, now with these we're going from American units to metric. So we're going to have to use dimensional analysis here. So always start this off with the initial fraction. 0.05 miles over 1. It's not a rate, so we just put it over 1 with no units in the bottom. Now we're going to multiply by a conversion factor. To go from miles to meters, we're going to go through kilometers. So miles to kilometers first, and then kilometers to meters. So we use the conversion factor 1.61 kilometers in a mile. Make sure to put the miles on the bottom here because it's on the top here. We want those miles to cancel. Right now we're in kilometers. We need to get to meters, so we're going to do 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. We'll multiply straight across on top, straight across on the bottom, and that gives us 80.5 meters. Next up, we're going to convert a rate as 45 meters per minute to feet per second. So our initial fraction here, make sure you include units on the top and the bottom, meters per minute. We're going to need to do 2 conversions. First, meters to feet. And there's 3.28 feet per meters. Meters on top, meters on the bottom, meters cancel. Next, we need to convert minutes. So we got 1 minute, 60 seconds, minutes on top, minutes on the bottom, cancel. We'll multiply straight across, top and bottom. And we get 2.46. So we do 45 times 3.28 divided by 60. And that gives us 2.46 feet per second. So I convert, that's the units I have left. Feet uncanceled, seconds uncanceled. Good. All right, next up we're going to convert an area. We got 12.8 miles squared. Make sure you write it as miles squared. Now when we convert this, we have to include the fact that this is a squared unit. So when we do our conversion factor, as we saw over here, miles to kilometers, 1 mile per 1.61 kilometers. Now we have to square everything, both numbers, both units. All right, got everything squared in the conversion factor, 1 squared, 1.61 squared, kilometers squared, miles squared. Now the miles squareds cancel. Those are gone. Now we're going to multiply 12.8 times 1.61 squared. And that gives us 33.2 kilometers squared, or square kilometers. Now 26, an example from chemistry, we're starting off with 34.8 grams of benzene, and we're given that it has a density of 0.9 grams per milliliter. So that can be written as 0.9 grams per milliliter. But we can't use the conversion factor like that because we'll have grams on top, and we need grams on the bottom. So we're going to take this thing and flip it over. So it's 1 milliliter over 0.9 grams. Now the grams cancel, and we do 34.8 divided by 0.9, and we get 38.7 milliliters of benzene. Next up, conversion problems. We're going to convert this phrase into a mathematical expression. So let's start off with the simple expression. We've got the product of 2 and x. Convert this straight up into 2x. All right, now we can do the rest of it. The sum of 5 and this thing. Sum is addition, so that's 5 plus 2x. Next up, number 28, we've got the quotient of the difference of y and 3 and 7. So this one's quite a bit more complex, hard to translate all at once. So let's look at the simple expression, the difference of y and 3. Difference is subtraction, so that is y minus 3 for this piece. Now we need to translate the quotient of y minus 3 and 7. Quotient is division. First thing that's mentioned goes on top, second thing goes on the bottom. So we have y minus 3 divided by 7. Next up, we have number problems. The sum of two numbers is 36. All right, let's just make the two numbers x and y. X plus y is 36. All right, sum is addition. The second number, now let's just say y is the second number. So let's convert this. The second number, that's y, is the equal sign. So the second number is 4 more than 3 times the first number. Well, 3 times the first number is x, so 3 times that is 3x, and it's 4 more than that. So more than is addition, so y equals 3x plus 4. All right, now we can take what y equals and substitute it in for y, and that gives us x plus 3x plus 4 equals 36. And there's an equation we can solve. Let's combine like terms. 4x plus 4 equals 36. Subtract 4 from each side. Get 4x equals 32. Divide by 4 on each side, and x equals 8. Now let's see what the other number is going to be then. So now we can take this 8 and plug it in here. So that gives us 3 times 8 plus 4, which is 24 plus 4, or 28. So our two numbers are 8 and 28. Now let's just confirm that they add together to get 36. 8 plus 28 is 36. So that works. Number 30. Roger saved $3,400 towards the down payment on the house, which is 20% of what he needs. How much does Roger need? So this is to translate this into a little more concise statement. We got 3,400 is 20% of, and let's just call this the DP for down payment. So 3,400 is 20% of the down payment. Let's translate this now. 3,400 is the equal sign. 20% is 0.2 as a decimal of his multiplication. And what variable did I use here? N. Yes, N for the down payment. I don't know why I chose N, just did. And now we can solve for N. So we'll divide by 0.2, and N equals 17,000. I'm going to answer word problems with a sentence. Roger needs $17,000 for the down payment. So we need three things. We need the number, we need the units, and what we're talking about. Next up, number 31. How long would $20,000 need to be invested at 8% simple interest in order to earn $8,000? Well, for this, we'll need the simple interest equation. I equals P R T. I is the interest, P is the principal, that's the initial amount invested. R is the rate as a decimal, T is the time in years. All right, we got $20,000 invested, that is the principal. So that goes in for P. We want to earn 8,000, so 8,000 goes in for the interest. We know the rate, 8%, so 0.08 times T. We don't know how long we need to invest it, so keep T as a variable. Let's multiply here. So we get 8,000 equals 1,600 times T. We'll divide by 1,600. And that gives, that's T equals 5. So it would take 5 years. Number 32. Henrietta has $2.85 in her pocket, consisting entirely of quarters and dimes. If Henrietta has 3 less than 2 times as many dimes as she has quarters, how many of each coin does she have? All right, so let's use Q, number of quarters, and D, number of dimes. Now, we're given that Henrietta has 3 less than 2 times as many dimes as she has quarters. So that means the number of dimes is so that's 2Q, twice as many quarters, but 3 less than 2 times as many. So that is 2Q minus 3. So that's a relationship between the number of dimes and the number of quarters. And now, we know that each quarter is worth 25 cents, so that's 25 times Q, and each dime is worth 10 cents, so plus 10D equals 285 cents. I like to use cents instead of a bunch of decimals, but you could do 0.25Q plus 0.10D equals 2.85. That's another way of doing it. All right, now to solve this equation, we are going to need to plug in this expression for D. So that gives us 25Q plus 10 times 2Q minus 3. Now distribute. And combine like terms. I'll add 30 to each side. And we get 45Q equals 315. And that makes Q 7. So we have 7 quarters. All right, now we need to find the number of dimes, so I'm going to take this 7, plug it in here. Oops. So D is 11. So that gives us 7 quarters and 11 dimes. Let's make sure this is right. So 7 quarters would be $1.75. 11 dimes would be $1.10. Add those together and we get $2.85. So that is correct. But that wraps up episode 2. Stay tuned for the exciting conclusion of Math 105 Final Exam Review.